Hello and welcome to Pitch in the Zone, our weekly gathering of coaches that help one presenter with a 3-minute pitch. The coaches, our regular coaches, Nathan Gold, he is a communications expert with a focus on high intensity presentations. We have Scotty Spursum, a language expert with a tremendous insight into the startup world. So does Michael Marchak, a CTO, speaker, and author. We have Marco Vitale, and of course, our speaker today is Ira Altiros. Ira presents an app called ReferApp. Ira, welcome to Pitch in the Zone. And before we start, can you quickly share with us what is the audience for your pitch?
Audience is probably venture capitalists or people who would be in government who would see the value of what we're trying to do. I would say this is a great idea for this age, and I think this would work worldwide. So,
all right, very good. So it's an investor pitch that helps us coaches put on the right hat. Marco is getting ready with the timer. He will start the timer as soon as you start speaking, Ira. So if you want to set up your slides and then...
I guess I'm going to share the screen.
Share the screen, and once you're ready, simply begin, take a deep breath, and good luck.
Okay, hold on. Share. I don't know what you can see right now.
Beautiful, yeah, we can. Just hit the play button or the whatever
what do you guys see at this point?
Now we can see the bottom lined up as well. No worries, no worries. Just
That's
get
not
started.
what I was trying to share. Let me just exchange the screens. Wait a minute. Let me start over again. Let me just get the stop share. I shared the wrong. I think I shared the wrong screen.
Okay, I guess.
I think I should be sharing screen number.
All right.
Screen number.
Well, she said she tried it or something. Yeah.
And
okay,
somebody, yeah, okay, perfect.
What is it now?
Ira, the floor is yours. The time starts whenever you start speaking.
Okay, thank you. How much money would you give word of mouth? From the beginning of time, word of mouth has always been free. But with the advent of smartphones and apps, word of mouth finally has a dollar value. When COVID-19 hit, economies worldwide came to a standstill. Not because there's not enough money to go around, it's simply because we cannot use the money that we all have. Another factor is when industries automate and use AI technologies. Jobs are lost. Who would buy those products and services if we don't have the money? Would machine pay our taxes? Machines don't buy, people do. There's got to be a better way of sharing our wealth that can bridge the gap between the have and the have-nots. We need to empower the consumers to increase sales, decentralize profit, and recycle our money that COVID-19 stalled. Let us share the profit with anyone on social media who could buy and refer great items and services to you, and you can do the same thing. Introducing ReferApps. We recycle your money. A new social selling revolution putting people back into the economic equation. Our simple job is to keep tab online who ultimately made a sale and compensate them accordingly. We are all a walking and talking advertising billboard with a smartphone. What we buy and what we wear are what our friend sees. When your friend asks you where you got your nice watch, you say, hold on a second, let me send you a link. We give everyone a free online store that you can customize whether you have a product or not. Here is that watch. Click it. This seller is giving 25% commission. I can also pin it on my store so I can sell it. When you click refer, you can choose any social media, say Messenger. This is how it looks like on our app. Tag your friend, click the R, and refer it. If your friend makes the purchase, you made some money, and your friend can do the same. That's simple. One level commission only. It gets even better if you refer a recurring service like internet service, for example. If they give 25% commission, you only need 4 friends to earn your service for free. Refer more and you earn more. Share the profit with subscribers who actually made the sale so they can pay for the service over and over again. Join ReferApps and let's start Ecolution, an economic revolution of empowering consumers back into the sales cycle by referring and recycling our money with everyone. Let us transform the way we buy and sell products and services worldwide, complementing what automation and AI technologies could do to make our jobs easier. Our vision is to have every product and service out there include a built-in economic stimulus that benefits not only the sellers and service providers, but also the consumers. So everybody wins. Thank you.
All right, all right. Still a little bit long at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but
30
big
seconds.
applause. And I am floored by your slides. I'm sure other people will comment on those as well. If you could stop sharing the screen, Ira, so we get more real estate to see each other. Awesome, thank you very much. And let me start today perhaps with Scotty. Scotty, have you noticed anything that needs to be improved in this pitch from Ira, and what recommendations do you have for him?
Morning. Yeah, the slides were actually really nice. They were very interesting and easy to watch. So I thought those were terrific. In terms of your voice, I think perhaps you could impart maybe a little bit more enthusiasm. The opening was good, but it felt a little bit subdued. So I think there needs to be a little bit more energy. And also, I heard a number of S's being dropped throughout the presentation. So when you talk about bridging the gap between the have and have nots, it's the haves and have nots.
Right. Okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure. So, and also there were some other ones that were dropped. I like the economic revolution. Ecolution I thought was really interesting, and maybe that could be moved further up. So, and I didn't see, there weren't a lot of financials other than how I get paid if I refer somebody.
All right. Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Scotty. As always, valuable, great feedback. Let me turn the microphone over to Michael. Michael also put a couple of comments into the chat box, Ira, so you might want to grab those before we exit the meeting, but don't do it too early. There will be more comments as we keep on going. Michael, the floor is yours.
Ira, so I like the interactive presentation you gave with the demo, kind of showing how things work. It made it very understandable for someone to know what you're trying to get after. But you initially indicated this was an investor pitch, and I didn't hear anything as an investor to know, A, what you're looking for. Are you asking for money? How much you're asking, what you're going to use it for? Nor did I see anything related to what you need to do with it, where your plans to spend that money is, and how we get it back, what the ongoing revenue streams might be for an investor in this platform. So I didn't see anything. It was mostly a consumer-based thing, talking about what you did and how you did it. So I would say if you're really going to go after investors, you need to provide something along the lines of how investors are going to be interested in the product. Letting them know what you did, which is good. You had a really nice interactive way of describing how the product and the service works. But I really had no feeling at all for what you were asking me for, or how I'd ever make a return on the investment if I did give you money. So I just start with that. But other than that, I thought the interaction of the visuals was great. And I'd love to see you get some more energy of finding you in there, because I didn't really know who you were when we started pitching this, to know why this is a good thing that you've decided to go forward with and bring to market. So again, I know this is an initial start. I'd love to see more, and I can't wait to see when you pitch it to us in the future.
Actually, just to say something about that, we have a presentation, a 5-minute presentation with the investor in mind. And it's just compiling all these ideas and putting it in 3 minutes. For me, it's impossible. So, but we have animations
again,
explain the whole thing.
So as part in the past, I created something called this dinner party pitch, and the concept is you want to bring people in, because when you sit down next to somebody at a table at a dinner party or whatnot, you often don't have a lot of time to go through your full pitch, if you will. It's not an elevator pitch where you like lock somebody in a corner, pin them down, and throw them information at them. This is more of a, hey, what do you do? Tell me a little bit about more about what you do. And you give them these little bite-sized chunks to get them interested in it. When you can condense your information, you can take that kind of concept where you're building out, this is what we do. This is how the consumer works with it. And this as an investor, how you make money as part of what I need to do with why I need money to go forward to make the money. Those are the little chunks you can put in place. After that, the investors, after you give your 2 or 3 minute pitch, they're going to say, I'm really interested in this. How does this work? And then you can go into much more detail about this. So make it an interactive. So when you're giving that initial pitch, give the broader overview about what you do, and then go into, if I'm talking to an investor, focus on that group, saying, now that you understand a little bit more about what we do, here's what we're looking for, and here's how we see our financials working in the future, to really give you a better feel for, as an investor, why you'd want to work with me. And then the dialogue begins, instead of trying to dump it all in my once. They know everything about you and everything about what you're doing and all your finances. That's a half-an-hour presentation that no one's going to sit through. Make it interactive. So that little chunks might be a good way to start.
Thank you, sir.
Great feedback as always, Michael. And if I want to add something here as well, it's basically the piece of information that tells the audience, the investors, why are you uniquely qualified to do this? You want to get that kind of credibility in the minds of the investors, and you are already there. Marco, you are joining us from the beach in Thailand.
Yes.
Take it from here.
Yes, thank you. Well, first of all, I think I can say for everybody that those were the best slides we had. So congratulations for that. So again, I loved your opening, because you said, how much value you give to word of mouth, but then you let me wait for 1 minute and 11 seconds to finally tell me what was that about. So that's, to me, it's a little bit too long, and then I lose interest, because I was excited. Okay, what can I do with my word of mouth? But then it took me too long to tell me why or what it was. So I would shorten the distance between when you open and when you explain why the word of mouth is important. Second, of course, I'm not anybody to tell you to change your slogan if that's your slogan, but to me, and I don't know anybody else, but recycle your money, it has a kind of a negative feeling. To me, if you say recycling the money, it means you sell drugs and you have to clean the money, right? I don't know in English, but to me, that's the first thing I link to that. Recycling the money means you have to clean it. So to me, there's a kind of negative background. As Claudio said before, yeah, for the credibility, you didn't say anything about you or your team. So in this day and age, it can also be just you doing the app, which is totally fine. I mean, I did so many things alone, but if you're presenting a pitch to an investor asking for whatever, $5 million, well, if you're alone, yeah, you're gonna retire in the Philippines with the money. You don't do the app, right? So present your team and who is behind that. And yeah, and that the really what it is, to me, again, it was a little bit too late. It was like 2 minutes and something into the presentation. So it took you, it's fine, but if it's in a 3 minutes, waiting 2 minutes to tell me what it is, it's too much. I really imagine if you have to do the pitch in front of investors who have to go through 50 different ideas, if you don't convince them immediately, they say, okay, whatever, next, so try to say what it is before then 2 minutes. But really, I love that. To me, it was the best produced audiovisual thing. So congratulations for that. Thank you.
Thank
Marco.
you, Marco, and I couldn't agree more. Very, very well prepared. Nathan, take it from here, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Just to bounce off of what Marco just said, I would not use the recycled money approach. I kind of get what you're trying to do there. You're trying to look at I think you're trying to come up with a different angle on influencer marketing.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get a catchy word that people will
Yeah.
say, how do we recycle the money?
Forget it. I would forget it. It's too confusing. The first half of your
Change the
presentation.
logo now.
Sorry?
I have to change our logo now.
No. That's a separate conversation. You can use those circles and money can go from one person to the other person. Don't worry about your logo. It's just the whole first half of your presentation to me was very confusing because it felt like you were trying to become a category of one. And that is a very, very challenging thing to do in life, to become a category of one. So I personally, I love what you're doing. And I feel like you could get a lot more reaction from investors if you hop on the influencer marketing trend right now. Right. It's just my opinion. You give influencer marketing a whole new meaning. Now it's not just about the Kim Kardashians of the world. It's all of us. We are all influencers. I love the whole second half of your presentation because it made perfect sense. I have a nice watch. People see it. They say, hey, where did you get that? I say, oh, I got it, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, 5 people buy watches. And why shouldn't I get a little bit of thanks, whether it's money or a gift or flowers or a bottle of wine from that company? So I think you've got a really interesting idea here from the standpoint of you could blow up influencer marketing. But I would talk about it. I would just jump on the influencer marketing and say, it's not all about those people.
We're actually in there already. There's
okay.
a business networking international.
Okay.
But we haven't fully launched, so we're getting there, hopefully.
All right. My final thing is that Marco pointed out the number one mistake, in my opinion, that most startups make, and that is they make the investor wait too long to really get what do you do? These people are really smart, especially in the VC world. Most of them are pretty smart. If you spend too much time on the problem, then they're all confused and they're thinking about other things. They're jumping to 1,000 different conclusions during the problem statement. When if all we did was just start clearly with, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, we do this, whether it's literal or metaphorical or a figure of speech, and then you go into all of the problem statement. So that's what I have to say. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Nathan.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Nathan. And we are continuing now with some of the participants who have been in your position before, Ira. Some of them, like Rick, who have joined us as a professional, eager to help presenters like you. So Rick, why don't you take it from here and provide some of the feedback you have to Ira.
Right. Well, thanks. And Ira, very nice presentation. And I agree with a lot of the comments before, but a couple that I'd like to mention. I think Michael had mentioned that this was really more of a consumer pitch than investor pitch. And one of my favorite books on presentations is a book called Presenting to Win, written by Jerry Weissman. And he was on the initial pitch for Netflix. And Netflix was telling people, rent all the DVDs you want for $20 a month. You can see this was years ago when it was just DVDs. But he changed the pitch and said, millions of people will rent all the DVDs they want for $20 a month. He was changing the focus from the consumer to the investor. So I think of that as a good example, but I like the concept, but it's more if someone invests in your project, then what's in it for them, the investor. I think you need to do that. And the other comment, I think from Marco and a few other people, again, what's your involvement? If I'm investing in that, I don't know if you're a rep for this company or you own the company. What value are you adding by presenting?
Right.
You know, is it something that you're saying, well, if you have any questions, I'll have the boss contact you, or I'm the boss, I'm developing this, and you know, you're not only investing in this product, but you're investing in me. So I think those are two things that will help you out as you refine this.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Rick. And moving right along, Dave. Dave, what kind of feedback do you have for Ira?
I had a visitor interrupt me at the beginning, so I'll just say what I really liked of the animated portion and the story that you told that way. I love short pitches like that where I listen to you, focus on you, and I can see the story being told. You know, it gets away from the old school slides with bullets, you know, and then I get distracted reading the bullets and I miss kind of meeting you. So I like that part.
Excellent.
Actually, I have a problem with that portion because all the investors are asking for a stack. And I said, how do I present this whole thing on a stack, on a paper? So it doesn't tell a story of exactly what I was trying to say. So I was trying to give them a link to see what I was talking about, but none of them were interested in doing that. They want me to send a PowerPoint presentation that they could
Ira?
read and see.
So Ira, that brings up a good point. Again, speak to your audience. Investors speak with numbers, and that really makes a difference to them. So if you're talking to an investor and they're asking for that, that's because that's how they listen to the story. The story for them is, how does my money that I give to you go along this journey with you in whatever you're doing and come out the other end with a lot of babies? That's the story they want to hear. You know, all the pieces of what you're doing are important. They want to understand what kind of risk they're getting into. But for them, the story itself is just tell me a little bit about what you do. Now let's figure out what the risk is associated with this and how I'm going to make money at the end of the day. That's the story to an investor.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Awesome. Excellent, excellent feedback all around. We have about 5 minutes, 6 minutes left. Let me move on to Liederman. Liederman, you're looking warm and cozy over there. Take it from here.
Yes, Ira, great presentation. I definitely agree with what Michael and Marco said about, you know, what is it that you want, and all the feedback has been great. But there's that experience sharing that I think could be valuable here. A few years ago, maybe more than a few, I said something that, just like you said, there's no way I can do this pitch in 3 minutes. And I said that to a potential investor. And the potential investor told me, if you cannot tell me who you are, what you do, and what you want in 3 minutes to make me excited about it, about your product, about you, about what you're trying to do, then you don't know your business enough.
Gotcha.
So I took that. That was pretty harsh because when I heard that, it just ouch, right? I do know my business. I take pride on that. But then I realized that actually, I probably didn't know my business enough.
Wow.
So my recommendation would be, you know, change the mindset and figure out those words that you have to use to be able to, you know, get somebody excited about you and your product within 3 minutes.
Okay.
Excellent, excellent. So valuable, this kind of feedback. I say something very similar to so many people. I say, if you cannot convince me in 3 minutes, you will not convince me in 5 or 10 minutes either. Right? As simple as that. Moving on, Debbie, what kind of feedback can you provide to Ira?
Good morning, Ira. That was very interesting. I really enjoyed the way you were able to keep pace with the, the slideshow. Oh. I really thought you did a great job being able to keep pace with your slideshow and your talk, because you're trying to keep them in sync. So yeah, I thought that was really well done and very impressive. Now, I was going to let you know, I do know of a company called AdWallet. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're out of Albuquerque. And they're a little different. Their tag is paid attention. So you get rewarded for watching things, but I just wanted to mention that to you because Albuquerque is my hometown. And so I'm familiar with them and I know they've gotten some recent funding. So it might give you some food for thought there. And then the only other thing I was going to mention was it was hard to know if your product is live or if it's all in, you know, prototype. And so I was curious about that.
Actually, it was live January. In 19 days, we had 35,000 members and our system blew up. We couldn't handle it. So basically, we had to go to AWS, Amazon, and now it's scalable. And one of our programmers just disappeared on us. We were trying to sync between the iOS and how do you call it, the Android. And now we kind of moved to React Natives that covers both in programming. So, and that is actually, we're planning to relaunch in February. So
Okay, that's kind of very interesting information. Not that the developer left you, but the first part about how many users you got so tremendously quickly. I mean, as an investor, I would immediately perk up when I hear that. Moving on, Chris, we only have a few minutes left. What one or two pieces of advice do you have for Ira?
Sure, Ira, I like the idea. And it strikes me, I hope you can hear me because the gardeners are in the background. Strikes me that what you're doing is amplifying and monetizing word of mouth. And I don't know, I mean, if you like that way of looking at it, you're welcome to use it. And I also, I think Michael was right on the money. You want to say amplifying and monetizing word of mouth for end users because people love numbers. And at that point, now you got somebody's attention. And then I would add on to that, actually, I was thinking something along the lines of you have the important users, the socially influential users that everybody wants to have access to because they want to have a better way of promoting their socialness. Obviously, you need to customize that so it sounds good, but that was my thought. I thought it was a great product.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And moving on, Samia, you've been in that seat a couple of weeks ago. What feedback do you have for Ira?
So unfortunately, I missed it, but I will go back and watch the replay. So I came in to hear all the feedback. So yeah, so you know, it's hard just sitting in that seat. So congratulations for just showing up and getting this amazing feedback.
Excellent. And that's it. You know, showing up is half the battle already. And then we have Kevin. Kevin, welcome to Pitch in the Zone. What kind of feedback do you have for Ira?
Yeah, I don't know if this is negative or not, but after Nathan's comment, I think it's a positive comment. And that is when I first said it, oh, this is just another influencer thing, I'm not interested. You know, affinity marketing and all that sort of thing. But I think when listening to your people, listening to Nathan, I think there is still room for it. And by the looks of it, a lot of room for it. So best of luck, Ira. Best of luck.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kevin. And that actually gets us to the end of today's Pitch in the Zone. I hope, Ira, this was a valuable experience for you. And I would like to invite you in a few weeks again. So basically, take the feedback that you got today. The session is recorded. You can always go back, listen to that feedback, put a couple of tweaks in there, shorten it, make it more focused to the actual investor interests. And I think you have a real winner here. So please come back again. Simply go to presenterzone.com/pitchzone and pick the next available date, which I believe right now is February 11. So you might want to already reserve the spot there so you don't have to wait too long.
I just want to thank everyone for coming, and it's been really valuable and education for me. So I hope I'll be one of your success stories. So
Wonderful. This is what we love to hear. And again, please do come back. And I want to thank all of the coaches, the regular participants, week in, week out, for the time that you're giving to these presenters. I know it's always greatly, greatly appreciated. And with that, I wish you a great, great day, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. And I shall see you again next week. Thank you. Goodbye.